So it's November 2021, and after a feud that's been brewing for over a year, Hangman Page has finally done it. He has beat his former tag team partner and longtime rival Kenny Omega to become the new AEW World Champion. And what I could describe as what felt like the conclusion to what was maybe the first season of AEW. Hangman Page has been there since day one, and this moment felt like the culmination of a long-term story being told here with just Hangman Page alone. Fighting through depression, fighting through people he thought were his friends turning on him, finding new friends, then have to go after the championship and all the trials and tribulations he had to go through. Finally getting it was a feel-good moment. But it felt like that was the end. And what came after was what I thought was probably the best feud he had. And that was his first feud with Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He came from WWE, went to AEW as basically one of the top stars for them. And he was a hot babyface coming in, and for this feud, he turned heel. He became a bad guy in one simple promo and made it clear he wants that AEW World Championship.
I don't want to beat you for the AEW World Championship and for you to have the excuse that you're not ready.
Now, because Bryan Danielson is such a big star, who would doubt the fact that he could beat Hangman? But the question was, would they be willing to put the title on Bryan at the expense of making Page look weak because he just became the champion? You fast forward to their hour-long championship match, one of the greatest matches in AEW history, and Hangman Page retains. This leads into their second match. Even though Bryan lost, he got another match on the very first episode of AEW on TBS, where in half the time of the first match, Hangman Page defeated Bryan Danielson again to retain the championship. This felt like almost the epilogue of AEW, and then that's where it kind of just fell downhill. Because his feud with Bryan Danielson lasted all of 1 month, the beginning of December to the beginning of January. You really can't even call that a feud, it was a program that happened on TV. So after his TV program with Bryan Danielson, he then went into this very small and thrown together feud with Lance Archer. They had a not memorable match with each other, and Hangman Page won, but it felt like something for Hangman Page to do and not really a story. Then we got into his first story against Adam Cole. And while the feud on paper was promising enough, two really good to great wrestlers in Adam Cole and Adam Page, the story, I don't even remember what the story was. Adam Cole seemingly was gunning after Hangman Page because he was the AEW World Champion, and with Adam Cole having the association with the Elite, you know, Hangman Page's former association with the Elite, it made sense, but compared to MJF versus CM Punk also happening on the same show, it felt less important. It was just never going to be the most important match. So Hangman Page defeats Adam Cole. Cool. His next championship match is again on TV against Dante Martin. This match was announced 1 day before it happened. There was no build-up. There was not even really a reason why Dante Martin got the championship match other than we're giving him a championship match because he was not number one. Hangman Page beat Dante Martin, but this was a match that was thrown together and made no sense. So why were fans even invested other than, oh, they can have a good match? His next championship match will again be against Adam Cole, and this time a Texas Death Match. This time it felt a little bit more important because they were the first AEW World Championship match on Rampage. But the thing is, people forgot about it. I didn't remember they had a match up until I looked up this for this video. So Hangman Page beat Adam Cole again, and that led into his feud with CM Punk. And this, I might say, was the most interesting Hangman Page feud, but it was also interesting because this is one of the most uncharacteristic portrayals of Hangman Page we've seen. Hangman Page seemed very paranoid and bothered and angry at CM Punk, who was another babyface, for things about Punk that we, the fans, have not seen on TV.
You talk a big game about workers' rights, yeah? Well, you've shown the exact opposite since you've gotten here.
The fans haven't seen these things on TV, so Page just looks like he's very moved and almost threatened by Punk's presence. And Punk no-sells this almost the whole storyline. So Page gets angry, does all this, saying, I'm gonna beat you, fans are gonna burn your shirts after I'm done with you, and then he loses to CM Punk. Page's reign lasted all of 6 months. And this proved, if for nothing else, even though Page was the AEW World Champion, not one time aside from the 1 month feud he had with Bryan Danielson did he feel like the top guy throughout this entire reign. His feuds were either rushed, TV-only feuds, or other stuff was going on that felt less important. So CM Punk, and I don't get the sense he's going to fail because it's CM Punk, is going to be Tony Khan's next opportunity to prove he can book a babyface champion, because honestly, Hangman Page didn't work. I love Page, but he just did not work as a world champion. And this is not the end for Page. He can always win the championship back in the future. But as far as the first goes, wasn't his best. What can I say? This is my first video essay attempt on TikTok or YouTube, so make sure you guys smash the like button and make sure you share the fuck out of this so that way other people see it. If you guys like this content, make sure you like, follow, and share with all your friends. Let's blow this shit up. Anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Later.